is a shooter.
And the Enjoy Illinois 300 is underway.
Spin, and this shot here by Robert Thomas was a thing of beauty. Cairo way wide. In on goal. Waiting. Shoots. He scores! What a backhand goal by Cairo. Here he comes. Good row in. Waiting too long, and that's going to do it. Blues win.
Good evening and welcome to Sports Plus. You could argue it's the busiest time on the sports calendar. You name the sport, you name the level, we probably have something to say about it tonight. But we start with the St. Louis Blues, who, as you saw in our open, had a nice St. Patty's Day Eve. And lucky for them, 4-leaf clovers and 4-game win streaks appear to go hand in hand. And so for tonight's main event, we head to Enterprise Center as the Blues hosted the Anaheim Ducks. There's the standings coming into today. Not great, but not totally insurmountable. Blues need to keep the streak going. Down 1-0 in the second, they even things up. Kevin Hayes on the doorstep. We are tied. Now in the third on the power play, Robert Thomas snipes and finds some twine. Blues up 2-1. Later in the third, Braden Shen is going to fire one, and Jake Neighbors is there to redirect the goal. How good is this kid in front of the net? His 22nd of the season. And then once more for good measure, Thomas gets his second of the game on another power play. Blues win 4-2 with 3 power play goals in the third period for their 4th straight victory.
Tough back-to-back, 2 games in under 24 hours. Those games are always tough, especially when they're kind of waiting on you, but we found a way to win, and that's the important thing.
There's no satisfaction at all. We still have a lot of work to do, and we're still chasing, and we still need points. So, if we do our job, hopefully, we'll sneak in there.
Looking for help, drops it to Embeck. 3, 2, dropped off to Nolan. The Bulldogs win it at the buzzer. They will review, but I think Matt Nolan has just sent him dancing yet again.
Yeah, it's time for some madness. If that Ivy League championship game buzzer beater is any indication, we're in for quite a bit of madness this year. Illinois has the talent to be right in the middle of the Final Four picture, and they only backed up that notion in today's Big Ten Tournament Championship game against Wisconsin. Grab some St. Patrick's Day pizza, pull up a chair. You are in for a Terrence Shannon Jr. show. Illinois star went out again today. He can drive to the basket better than anybody in the game, and he hits from deep too. Illinois up 1 at the half. This was a great game throughout. Marcus Damask had a nice day as well. There's 3 of his 26 points. Illini up 5. Wisconsin never went away, though. Tie game, minute and a half left. Here comes Shannon. Buckets. Illinois finishes it off for a 93-87 win and a Big Ten tournament title. Shannon had 34 points, 102 points over the past 3 days if you're counting at home. Second most by a player in Big Ten tourney history.
And then to have the confetti fall at the end, I couldn't be prouder of these guys, and I'm glad they get to experience that feeling and hoist that trophy. And we talk about it a lot. We don't take this tournament for granted.
Oh my gosh, they got confetti falling right now. Confetti is falling on the floor. They're going to have to stop playing. We can't see our notes. The players can't work on this court. Confetti is everywhere.
If you believe in that sort of thing, it could have been a bad omen if you were Duquesne. They were leading VCU with 17 minutes to go, but they held on, and they're going to their first NCAA tournament since 1977. Let's dig into Selection Sunday. A few hours later, the tournament committee let the world know who else was in. The top 4 teams are defending champion UConn, Houston, Purdue, and North Carolina. Notably absent were 28-win Indiana State from the Missouri Valley. And get this, ESPN is reporting their head coach, Josh Schertz, is in discussions with St. Louis U for their coaching vacancy. Stay tuned. The Fighting Illini are the 3 seed in the East. They will take on the 14 seed Morehead State. That game is set for Thursday at 2:10 p.m. in Omaha. MVC champion Drake is the 10 seed in the region. The winners of the East and West will meet in the Final Four. After the Tar Heels, the top seeds are former CBC star Caleb Love in Arizona, followed by Baylor in Alabama. The Atlantic 10 got a second team in along with Duquesne. The Dayton Flyers are in with the 7th seed. On the other side of the bracket, Tennessee is in with the 2 seed, followed by former Trinity High big man Ryan Kalkbrenner in Creighton, and then Kansas. Notable here is the 15 seed, Tiny St. Peter's. They made that memorable run 2 years ago that began in the first four. They had no band, remember, so the Dayton Pep Band became a Peacocks band for their run. In the South, after Houston, the top seeds are Marquette, Kentucky, and another blue blood, Duke. Talk about a stacked region. The first four gets underway Tuesday night.
Miller with time winding down. She gets the bucket. And Drake takes home the championship. Unbelievable.
Won the Missouri Valley tournament thanks to Anna Miller. They get a 12 seed in Regional 2 in their NCAA tournament.
Taking flight. Card Spring Training, sponsored by Woods Basement Systems.
Matthew Liberatore on the hill for the Cardinals today in Jupiter against Houston. We now know it will be Miles Michaelis starting opening day with Sonny Gray sidelined. Big day for the offense. That was Dylan Carlson with a bomb. They're going to need him in the outfield this year. Here's another bomb, this one from big Lucan Baker. That tied things at 6 in the 8th inning. Then here comes young infielder Brody Moore, who wallops a grand slam. He's not going to forget that moment. Cardinals win 10-6. Coming up, we have plenty of high school athletes to spotlight, both for an emotional journey on the court and dominance on the water. We'll be right back with more Sports Plus. Incarnate Word Academy winning a state championship in basketball is not exactly a rare thing. This was their 7th in a row after all. But this time was different. With head coach Dan Rolfes suffering a heart attack after the semifinal game, yesterday's state championship game took on new meaning. Rolfes is still in critical condition in a Columbia hospital. His team was always going to play though, because that's what coach would want. The Incarnate Word Red Knights are not familiar with losses. When you've won 131 games in a row and a state championship every year since 2017, that happens. But Saturday's 10-point title win over Kickapoo was not like the rest, because the man who led them there wasn't there.
It's not the same without Rolfes. Sorry. We didn't know the last game was going to be our last game with him. So it's really rewarding, but it's not the same.
But while Dan Rolfes was recovering from a heart attack in a Columbia hospital, his team made him proud, like they always do.
Yeah, we were more motivated than ever, especially going into this game. We have a lot to play for, each other, coach, our whole program. So we just left it all out there. That was our focus, especially for us seniors. It's very emotional for us, a lot of things going on, but we definitely left it all out there.
Being a senior and just knowing that we kept this streak going and just knowing that we did this all as a team with all the naysayers, all the people doubting us, it's a great feeling.
Rolfes still got his 13th state championship medal as head coach, with his daughter Kate there to accept. And the love and support from the Incarnate community and beyond has not gone unnoticed.
But our support system is really like no other, and I'm truly blessed to have been a part of this program for 4 years, and yeah.
Incarnate wasn't the only local team to cut down the nets this weekend. It was a stellar showing for St. Louis at State. We had 6 local champions out of the 12 trophies up for grabs between the boys and girls. Bashan, Cardinal Ritter, DeSmet, Lift for Life, and John Burroughs can all call themselves champions. Our town can sure play some basketball. For Vashon, it was their 5th state title in a row and 15th overall. Tony Irons and his team aren't just a local powerhouse anymore. They are a national powerhouse. The Wolverines stopped by for this week's Sunday Conversation. It is now my pleasure to welcome in Coach Tony Irons and the Class 4 state champs, the Vashon Wolverines. Coach, you've done this a number of times. Every year, I'm sure, is a little bit different. What makes this one special?
It's just special being with these guys. It's been a difficult road this whole season. We played a very difficult schedule. Faced some adversity throughout the course of the year, and then these guys just bought in and stayed together. Again, testament to them.
Tell me what it's like when that timer is counting down and you know you're going to be a state champion?
Feeling like, oh, it's almost over. Like, dang, it's almost over. We finna be done. But it's also another feeling like I don't want it to also end though, because like I enjoyed all the moments I played with my teammates, so I ain't want it to end. Like I still kind of, I mean, I don't want to practice right yet, but I will in a couple weeks.
You guys go everywhere to play some of the best teams in the country. Where do you think Vashon kind of registers on the national level right now? Because all across the country, people know who you are.
Yeah, it's actually been a blessing. So we were fortunate to go to Hawaii this year. I know you're familiar with that. And we actually had an alum who actually lived in Hawaii who came to the game. So just, you know, it's just surreal to see when you do travel that people are, you know, Vashon is kind of a household name in certain areas, and they come and support. And at the same time, you know, when we play teams that are, you know, from other areas or other regions, like they're familiar with us as well. And sometimes it's not a great thing to prepare for, because they you know, they're kind of up to play us at times. But again, it's just shown how the program has continued to evolve.
Explain the state of the program right now and where you think this can keep going.
I mean, I don't know. Like, that's always the next question is, you know, what's next, or what does next year look like? And we haven't really gotten, you know, to that point yet. We really just wanted to celebrate this one, but we do have some returning guys, a lot of young guys that have a potential to be really, really good. And then we have some seniors that we want to celebrate and continue to, you know, to make sure that they get to, you know, experience what it's like to be a collegiate athlete, and I think a lot of them will.
Do you just come in every year? I have to get back to that. It's just such a great feeling. We got to do it again.
Yeah, to be honest, I really do, because like, one, for sure, it'd be a travesty if we like don't get it there, don't make it. So, one, I'm always like, I know that's the end goal. Like in the beginning, we just building up. We like going through all our trials and errors, we going through our ups and downs, so we can get that out the way. Because by the time it comes to later on in the season, we'd be locked in to win a state championship. So, you know, I feel like our main, our full-on objective is definitely the state championship, but we also working on getting ourselves better as players and also as young men, so.
Oh! Roman Berkey stones Joveljic, altering that shot like it's a Kate Middleton Mother's Day photo.
What a call from Joey Zanaboni, and what a game last night between the Galaxy and City SC. We saw everything in LA. Defender Joachim Nielsen completed a wild bicycle kick for the goal of the season, and yes, Roman Berkey was an absolute wall in the 3-3 draw. I think one goal scorer from last night, Thomas Ostrak, perfectly describes their keeper's dominance.
You know, Berkey is Berkey, you know, this guy is unbelievable. He saved our asses, if I can say it like that, but it's true. So, yeah, we're happy to have him in the goal, and he's helping us a lot.
And on a night like this, we needed Roman to be at his best, just to lead the way, as a captain should do, and he was massive for us tonight.
It's not exactly groundbreaking to say that St. Louis churns out its fair share of Division I college athletes. We bring you stories of prep phenoms on the basketball court, soccer pitch, and baseball field all the time. But the most fertile training ground of high school talent in St. Louis is Creve Coeur Lake, where no matter your story, rowing can take you places. Photographer Randy Schwenker and I went out on the water for tonight's Spotlight Story. Sports opens doors for young people. It can help them get places not many other things can. And the St. Louis Rowing Club has opened plenty of doors in its nearly 150 years of existence. Right now, the club is soaring.
When I started, we had about 25 or 30 kids, and right now we're up to about 150. We're pretty much at capacity right now, so it's really grown tremendously. The last couple of years, we've been the top team in the Midwest, and we're looking to maintain that status and really do a lot of great things on the national level as well.
And if you want an individual story to encapsulate what this club is about, meet St. Joseph's Academy senior Bailey Bryan. Bryan is one of about a dozen current club athletes who have been recruited to row at the next level. She's going to compete at Villanova in college, and believe it or not, she's only been doing this for about a year.
I'd never thought in my wildest dreams that I'd ever be able to get recruited to play a D1 sport in college. Rowing has absolutely changed my life in that sense.
What makes Bailey's story even more impressive is what she's overcome. Bailey has cystic fibrosis, a genetic disorder that can affect breathing.
I definitely had lots of instances when I was younger where I was pretty sick and things didn't go away. But over time, as I've gotten more and more into endurance sports, I've been healthier, I've been able to, my lung function's been higher. Yeah, they've really changed my life. There's so many other athletes that also have cystic fibrosis, but just because it's something that you can't see, a lot of people just don't know that. I don't even think that many people on the team know that I have it. Rowing has been an amazing thing for me specifically because it's been able to help me maintain my really strong health and then also opened a lot of doors for me with college.
She works hard, never complains, and I'm not surprised that she's had so much success, honestly. She's a good athlete, but a really hard worker.
Take this hand off the outside, bring it over the top on the inside.
And there aren't many harder ways to work out those lungs than rowing.
Rowing is absolutely the hardest thing I've ever done. I think a lot of people would probably not want to try it if they understood how much pain can come with it, but it absolutely is the most rewarding thing that I've ever done because time and time again, even though it's incredibly difficult, I am just amazed and impressed with how we're able to do things as a team and push ourselves beyond what we think our limits are.
Really trying to feel the run of the boat. Listen to all those little sounds. Feel the boat moving together. Everybody moving together.
Even on frigid days, you can catch Bailey and the club out practicing on Creve Coeur Lake for that next big race. And for a number of athletes preparing for where this sport can take them.
Really anyone can become really good at rowing. That's something that's really emphasized here is that if you're a hard worker and you're driven to show up every day and give it 100%, you absolutely can find a measure of success in rowing.
Players Championship, a beautiful TPC Sawgrass. Scotty Scheffler is the best in the world, and he showed it again today. Beauty of a shot from the green side bunker on 16. He shot 64 to go, 20 under overall. Let's go to the 18th green. Wyndham Clark has a putt to force a playoff with Scheffler. It looks good until it isn't. How many times have we all been there? Just brutal. Here it is again in slow motion. Scheffler takes the title. Quick NASCAR update for you. Denny Hamlin took the checkered flag at the Food City 500 today in Bristol. And a quick shout out to the Gallatin Awards tonight in Alton. Redbird Samaj Stampley and Jarris Powers are the Boys and Girls Player of the Year in the Riverbend area. Congratulations to all the winners there tonight. Time now for the Victory Men's Health, Frankly Speaking, and I'm going to do it. I am wading into the SLU coaching discourse. No, I don't know who the right choice is to replace Travis Ford, but I do know what their #1 job should be. The next coach, if it's Josh Schertz or whoever else, and the university for that matter, need to make this town care about SLU basketball again. Unless you're a Billiken diehard, when was the last time you were at a bar and somebody said, hey, can you put the SLU game on? We don't have an NBA team. The two closest major college programs are over 2 hours away. But for my money, SLU still doesn't register with the average St. Louis sports fan. That's absurd. We should be sitting here every selection Sunday with at least the hope of the Bills going dancing. They have the facilities, they should have the money, the ingredients are there. Why can't SLU be Dayton? Why can't SLU be VCU? The next coach has to get this town to care about Billiken basketball again, because when you get St. Louis invested, they'll follow you anywhere. That's our show for tonight. For producer Andy Moeller, I am Corey Miller. Have a great night, St. Louis.